Alright folks, welcome to another Modern stream. We're going to be playing some Naya lands today. And I put together a sideboard guide for my Patreon supporters and subscribers of the channel on Twitch. So first of all, thank you. And second of all, if you are interested in checking out this little number that I've been working on for a while now, it's like 2 months or something that I've been working on this deck. If you're interested in taking this bad boy out for a spin or anything like that, you can check out the cyber guide that I put together, and I cover a wide variety of modern matches in modern, namely the top 20 or 20, maybe 30 decks that I could find in the goldfish categories. So that should get you a good place to get started and to take it from there with this beautiful deck that includes such hits as my invitational card, of course, Elvish Reclaimer, Red and 6, Dryad, Titania, probably my second invitational card, Titania, Protector of Argot. So yeah, deck's been a lot of fun. I've been having not only a great time playing it, but I've also been winning a considerable amount, which is basically the best thing that you can ever expect from a brew. And yeah, hopefully you are enjoying it as well. If you are, make sure you hit a like and subscribe button, and I'll see you for round number 1 of this thing. All right, so yeah, it sounds great. So we can go turn 1 Reclaimer, turn 2 Flagstones, and if my Reclaimer dies, we can go turn 2 Saga into Chalice. So that means that we're just playing this Chalice on 0, because we're playing against the Glimpse deck. And this is why a deck like this plays Chalice, by the way. We've seen lately, I guess I want Red Source, yeah, in case I draw Ren. We have seen lately some decks that used to play Chalice kind of shying away from Chalice. Namely the the Scape Shift decks have been shying away from Chalice, but that is because the Scape Shift decks have different game plans, right? Like they have access to stuff like the Fairy, Time Raveler, and whatnot. So it's a lot tougher. But because of how this deck is built, it naturally needs to have access to a card like Chalice in order to compete with something like this. I was gonna say there's no way my opponent's playing. There's no way my opponent's playing. What's his name, right? Like freaking Foundation Breaker. Opponent says, didn't see you online, would have opened the stream, I knew to dodge, says my opponent. You're good, opponent. You're playing a deck that's not gonna be necessarily easy for me to beat. How you doing, Andrea and Scott? Welcome. Childless Agent. Okay. I wonder why they would cast there. So I think that what I want to do is I want to get another Flagstones here because I actually have 2 untapped lands. So if I get Flagstones here, now I can untap. Well, I drew the Explore. I'd rather activate Reclaimer, however. So we can go land, Dryad, and now we can play Saga. And now we actually have enough lands to trigger Valakut here, so we should win the game next turn. What's up, Lewis? How's it going? Well, I mean, if they get Dark Dwellers, this still gets countered. Like Dark Dwellers casts the spell. It's the same as Arcanist, so the spell still needs to get cast. So the Chalice is still a lock. I think this is just game. Sack that, get my second Valakut. Throw some triggers at my opponent's face. Of course, kill my opponent's creature. For a second, did you for a second think that I was not gonna be killing my opponent's creature? Come on, you should know me better, Chad. You should know me better. Okay, so Chalice is obviously great. We can actually go check out the Cyber Guide. Well, that's awkward. This is like the only Cascade deck that I didn't include in Cyber Guide. Whoops. Alright, so Hushbringer looks good. Fourth Chalice seems great. Kind of brutal, honestly, getting paired against the only deck that I didn't include. Feels bad, man. Well, I can include it right now. Let's do that. It's Glimpse of Tomorrow, right? Glimpse of Tomorrow combo. Chalice to Hushbringer. And I think I definitely want to cut Bog. Definitely want to cut Ren. Oh, the prismatic endings are just awful, right? Let's actually do this. Actually, it may be better for me to have explosives than prismatic endings. Yeah, that's what I want to do. Because ending answers everything that the explosives answers everything that the ending does, but it also answers everything at the same time. This hand's not very good. This hand is better. Not great, but probably keepable. And this is gonna be just a Ren hand, right? We're just gonna do Ren things this game. So we're gonna go this on turn 1. We're gonna find Stomping Ground. Could find let's actually find Sacred Foundry. And then if we had been on the play, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. I really don't think it's going to be that big of a deal. So this should lock it up, right? Now my opponent's this cannot really be answered. I guess they could have Force. If they have specifically Force, then that may be a problem. But because we have Ren going, I don't think that it's really going to be an issue. I think we'll follow Arquegonio. I could kill this if I wanted to. we can suit up the Hushbringer with a Shadow Spear. Let's fucking go. Probably not gonna do that, but it's cute that we can if we wanted to. Oh, that's a lot better. Yeah, let's actually do that instead. Okay, forest, plus over there. Play that land. Play that guy. Play the Shadow Spear. I should have attacked. That was actually a mistake on my part. I'd like to burn 300 PPs to play Emulator Prelim. Well, I don't see why not. Go nuts. Opponent cracks clue. Definitely would not like to see a force. But bearing force, we don't really care about too many of my opponent's cards. Because like whatever like value card they could have, we just have Titania. That's a lot more value than anything that my opponent can accrue. So imagine they're just gonna send both at Ren. So now Ren is gonna die, which is perfectly fine. We have a backup. Opponent has been hushed. The 2/2. Let's take a peek. See what my opponent is working with. Foundation Breaker. So they do have Fury. Okay, so Bone Crusher is the problem card. Bone Crusher is the only card that really does anything. Ah, yes. Ah, yes, the good old luck sack draw. So let's equip and gain some life. I could play Ren, but so I'm gonna get Saga off of this Reclaimer. Yeah, so I'm just gonna Ren, and I'm just gonna plus getting back the land. And what this means is that next turn I'm gonna be able to play Titania plus activate Reclaimer plus get this fetch. Because I'm not gonna have mana to play the Ren next turn. So sure, I'm just playing Ren and it's gonna die, but like it doesn't really matter. Hushbringer, what kind of economy are we living in? I mean, it's an economy where Elementals is the best deck, right? Look at all those Elementals that my opponent can't do anything with. It's awesome. Maran. I joke, you know, that this deck is just Naya Prison, but it kind of is in certain matchups. Also, I just realized that Bone Crusher doesn't do anything. Like, this is a 2/3. That's awesome. The random Shadow Spear doing work. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I think I'd rather make a 5/3 than make a token. So let's play the Foothills because it means it's one more token. Let's go, Hushbringer. Even if they go off, they can't really do too much. You sure? I mean, this is just a free block, right? Am I missing something? I don't think I'm missing anything. Endurance, maybe? But, I mean, Hushbringer, though. Violent Outburst. Alright, I mean, you got me. How am I ever going to beat that? How am I ever going to be able to beat that, right? I think I'd rather just continue playing around Bone Crusher here. And I can't set up lethal this turn, but I'm gonna have super lethal next turn. So this should be fine. I do have a Cyber Guide for Naya lands. Definitely tempting to move over the Shadow Spear to one of these elemental tokens, but ultimately I don't think it's worth it. Fury? Saga doesn't cast the card, it just puts it into play, Andrea, so you can just put a 0 off of your library. But it does not search for X artifacts. No, the CMC, it's very careful in the wording. The CMC needs to be 0 or 1. It needs to be, it needs to be a 0 or it needs to be a 1. I imagine that was very much on purpose. Yeah, mana cost 0 or 1. Alright, that was a good showing for Naya Prison. See you for next round. Welcome to round number 2. Playing against the Lurrus deck. Very likely. Every deck is a Lurrus deck, if you try hard enough. This hand's excellent though. We're on the play too, so I get to go turn 1 basic forest. Reclaimer, and I get to ask my opponent the question, do you have it? ¿Qué pasa, Fran? No vi que estabas en directo si no te hubiera hecho raid. Sí, Remaison, estoy en vivo, arranqué hace poco, hace 20 minutos. Lurrus Titania, you just need Living Wish? Now you're talking my language. We gotta play Ren here. I gotta make my opponent's discard spells bad. It also makes their monkeys bad. Ha! you see why I like lands so much? Lands are great because they dodge counter spells, they dodge discard spells. Lands are awesome. Lands are so awesome. Tell that to turn timber, fair enough. Oh, my opponent's playing Grixis. Yeah, my computer just turned off. Feels bad. Yeah, it wasn't the internet, it was just like my computer just turned itself off. It may be because of the lighting. Monkey? Thoughtseize? They have perfect info. Like, why are the Thoughtseize? You have actual perfect info, opponent. Why are you Thoughtseize? Just gonna Shadow Spear here. Do some of this, do a little bit of that, you know, just the usual. Why not kill the monkey? Why? Right? What's the point? Like, if I kill the monkey, I am enabling my opponent's Unholy Hit, and then my Ren dies. And I'd much rather draw an Ursa Saga so I can continue winning the game even harder than kill my opponent's 2-1 that doesn't do anything. It's not free, right? I minus of this goes down to 5. Now it enables Delirium. My opponent does not have a creature. Anyway, red-black Lurrus. That one is indeed. Also, one thing that I noticed is how there's like infinite mid-range decks. I was going through the deck lists. I guess my opponent's not playing Shadow. There's like infinite mid-range decks. Every deck is a mid-range deck now. 4 Reclaimers and the Ghost Squad. It's all Lurrus XYZ. Yeah, but even it's just I was thinking, you know, like where the hell do I throw the Rhinos deck? Is the Rhinos deck a control deck? Like, not really. It's more of a mid-range deck. Are the Asmodex mid-range deck? Yes, they are mid-range decks. Eldrasitron also mid-range. Blue-red Murktide, what is it? It's not aggro. It's kind of mid-range. So every deck is kind of a mid-range deck. And then obviously the Lurrus decks are all mid-range deck with the exception of Hammer. This hand's great. Asmo seems more combo. The problem is like, what's your combo? Yeah, tempo is not really. Whenever I make my Cyber guys, I have aggro decks, mid-range decks, control decks, big mana, and combo. Those are the parameters that I use. Renantix. Is my opponent gonna be doing some monkey business here? No monkey business. Gonna go for Stomping Ground because we don't really have another land just yet. Easy. Oh, that's actually kind of awkward. Um, Actually, we can do play Saga, play Explore, and then my opponent cannot drown. Counterspell. Alright. They know about the Ren, so I imagine that means that they have another answer for the Ren 6. I could also just start doing Saga things. It's a hell of a card. Yeah, I think I'm just going to... I'm giving up a construct, but it feels like resolving Ren right now is kind of awesome. Them using a counterspell and explore is great for me though. Well, that's a way for that plan to backfire. Titan O'Clock, thank you so much for the subscription. Welcome back to the Primetime Stronghold. I appreciate the support. Did I forget to bring in my Soul Guide? I think I may have forgotten to bring in my Soul Guide Lantern here. Whoopsies. Totally forgot to bring in my Soul Guide Lantern. No, the thing is that... So, this is actually a mistake on my part. Like, I did a red-black Lurrus mid-range point, and then I did a Lurrus Grixis Shadow. But I like Shadow. I like Chalices a lot better against the Shadow version. Don't really like it against this kind of version. But I think I still want. So what I should do is I should add just like a Grixis, because I think that Soul Guide is a lot better against the Grixis version of this deck than against the straight up red black. So we can bring this Soul Guide for game 3. The good thing is that, like, if my opponent taps out here, we can just kill this thing. I have to play around the drown. Draw up a Jugabog. Not a bad draw by any means. I had to float mana in response. My plan was to play the Ren as well. Well, mistakes were made. Okay. I'm trying to fix this Sideboard guy, and I'm just making mistakes left and right here. It's okay. Uh-huh. Mm-hmm. That's a good draw. Endurance is so good, man. Jeez. Endurance is kind of sick. Where do you find the cyber guides in Discord? They are in the... Should be... There we go. So, okay, so now they drown the Endurance. But now their counterspell doesn't do anything. And now I have a couple of options. I can kill the Snapcaster and bog them. Or I can just plus and play another Saga. If I kill the Snap and bog them, my opponent still bubbles. They attack here. I think I'd rather draw the Saga. And we also get to hold on to the bog. So both of them at Ren. That's fine. Ran down. They do replay the bubble. And now do we want to attempt to resolve Titania here? I don't think we do. I think we just start creating constructs. And we force my opponent's hand this way. This is going to be another construct. Do you think there are any budget limits to the playset of Ren in the deck runs? It only seems like the reason even has red. Yes, that is the only reason the deck has red. So why do you think that I'm stretching my mana base in order to play this card? Yeah, I mean, this is one of the main reasons that the deck is good in the first place, right? Like, it's the interaction between Ren and Six and Ursa Saga. Like, this interaction it's pretty messed up, right? They make me discard. Okay. That interaction is extremely powerful, and it's the main. It's the main reason why this deck can grind against the Lurrus deck and just kind of not even care, almost. Snapcaster K command. We're using a terminate on a construct. I can work with that. I'm a little bit short on mana here for all the stuff that I want to do. Like, I want to try to do like a prismatic ending and Titania in the same turn kind of deal. I think we can make a token. Now that this triggers on the stack, we get to gain 2 free life. Here comes the Shadow Spear. Play our land. And I'm going to attempt to Prismatic Ending the Lurrus. So my opponent needs to have a counter spell right now. They bolt their own dude. Seems fine to me. So they're just gonna K-command their Lurrus back. That does tell me that they don't really have a counter spell though, which is good for me. Cyber Charm is from Murktide? Yes. It's Murktide, Hammer. Gonna set up Naya lands for the first time this Friday. Super excited. The chalices are in the mail and won't be here Friday. What would you put in that slot temporarily? I mean, I just explained in the first round like why I think that even though other decks like Escape Shift are kind of shying away from playing chalices in the main deck, like this deck really can't afford to do that. Like it's just way too important to be playing chalices for us because it makes sure that our deck can fight in an axis that it's otherwise very, very hard for our deck to fight in. So I don't think that unfortunately there's anything that you can easily replace it with. If there's no counter magic here, this should be game over. So my opponent needs to have a counter spell right now, otherwise they lose. That's not a counterspell, my friend. That's also not a bolt. But this is, however, is a 5/3. And now we suit up the Titania so my opponent can't bolt it. Your move. This is why I love this deck so much. It's just like you play Titania and you're always setting up lethal the following turn if you have a Zuran Orb. Just don't mind me. Just representing lethal on board. Don't mind me. Don't worry about it. Hudson with the Prime sub. Welcome back for the 17 months, Hudson. Appreciate it. Always a pleasure. Bubble. Let's see that engineered explosives. You better have that engineered explosives. Opponent is digging. Polluted Delta is not engineered explosives. Terminate. So we're definitely cracking that one. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's crack Bajuka Bog. And this is 15 power. Let's actually just go set up the... Let's actually set up... Let's do this. Because if my opponent does indeed have the explosives... If they do indeed have the explosives, then that's the only way that we can potentially lose here. I sack the Saga because there's literally nothing else that really matters here. Yeah, the Nim Saga. We knew about the Delta, so they have 2 cards left. Yeah, that's pretty good. Oh, I should have equipped. I do think my opponent is just gonna chomp with Snapcaster Mage. And Endurance is probably like the only card that I could have drawn there that would have made me not want to Titania. Which is unfortunate. With how things happen here. So I guess my opponent does not have Drown the Lock in their deck. So I think I'm just gonna do this on their upkeep. It's a lot. Like, this is actually a lot for them. We still have a Titania waiting in the wings. Aether Gust. Yeah, it's actually fine. And the reason it's fine is because we're already presenting lethal, so... Gust? In the current metagame, Aether Gust? Weird choice. Wasn't it better to do it in your turn so they can't cast Snapcaster? Yeah, well, that's what I was thinking. Like, they can't... There's nothing they can snap back that I care about. What's the next one for the British city constantly disregarded compared to the rest of the British city? I literally have no idea what you're talking about, Jesse. Omnath and Fury are scary. Wait, what? What? What are we talking about? I'm lost. They're tapped pretty low. And we already have lethal on board. Yes, the Inquisition of Kozilek. Ah, yes, the Inquisition of Kozilek. Attack you. Drowning the Lock. My elemental token. Tough. Tough times. Hey, Flash Panda, how's it going? I appreciate it. Appreciate the sentiment. Oh, Gust is somewhat justifiable for elementals and escape shift running around. That's what I meant. Okay, that makes sense. When it exiles my flagstones. Iteration. So much card advantage. Opponent's got like infinite card advantage. Do you feel like the Lurrus decks are good matchups? Yes. I have felt quite favored versus all of the Lurrus decks, really. Expressive iteration? More like expressive desperation. Expressive desperation. No. No, we don't like that. I guess we don't like that. Cling to dust. Sure, opponent, keep going. Keep going. There we go. Finally we found... I guess my opponent was digging, but they were actually looking for the concede button. That they're... I guess they were looking for something. Alright, see you next round. Alright. Round number 3. Sheesh. On the play, with more information, I may have kept this hand against the Lurrus deck, but I'm not going to keep this in the blind. No green sources. Actually, this hand does have a green source in a roundabout way. Just play Surun Orb and sack the Flagstones. That actually fixes me for green. Yeah, okay. Can't wait to play this in paper. It looks really good. Yeah, it's a lot of fun. I played it for the first time last week or the week before, and it was a lot of fun. It really was a lot of fun. Is this Blue Red Murktide? Probably. Could be Blue Moon. That would suck. Counterspell. Remand. Okay, so it probably is Blue Moon. Our hand is not well equipped to beat Blue. Oh, is that Storm? Am I playing against the last Storm player? Dude. I guess it could be Breach, you're right. Could be Breach. It's really fun. Playing against Through the Breach with this deck is very fun. Titania is a hilarious card against Breach. Okay, so... Oh, no, it could still be Storm. Here's Titania. And this is lethal next turn. So what you got? Dress down, making Through the Breach Emrakul lose haste. That's funny. That's very funny. Okay, so it is Storm. Well, unsurprisingly, no. This deck is not in the in the sideboard guide because this is not really a deck anymore. Point is 2-0 though. Point needs to set up the lethal kill right now. I think that my opponent is going to be bottlenecked on mana, not really on cards, so I'm trying to take the cards that make the most mana. They have a goblin. Yeah, this is fine. I accept these terms and conditions. Yep. These are fine. Yeah, that's true. We can gain like a bunch of life before dying. That's hilarious. I mean, I don't think my opponent's gonna be able to get there without a dork. Or like a shit ton of rituals. Alright. Fireworks time. If my opponent goes for empty, what would I do? If they go for an empty and they make like, I don't know, like 40 tokens or whatever. Past in Flames. Sure. They made a land drop already. So I don't think they can really go too far with this. Had a discussion of the LGS with the current development of Modern over the last 2 years. Storm, Tiny Shift, Boomer, John seem like they will never have the opportunity to be competitive ever again, potentially at least. Yes, I would agree with most of that. Particularly Boomer Junt. Boomer Junt is just obsolete. Even though Reduke will continue to to try to make it work, it will not be good. Sure. I mean, opponent continues to make game actions. I think I would make just only 3 tokens. Like if my opponent uses Grape Shot to attempt to kill my Titania, I think I would just make 3 tokens. Reed Duke still doing CPR on a corpse dead 2 years ago. That's funny. That's funny. Let Us Reach version is the better Storm deck at the moment. Yeah, but that can change, right? So I think my opponent is trying to not die. So I think I'm gonna just do this. So my opponent... Yeah. So now I have lethal. The problem is if I sack all my lands, I don't think I can sack all my lands. I am giving my opponent 1 more turn, but I don't think I can sack all my lands here. My opponent's probably going to kill Titania and like... I mean, if they don't kill me, they have to kill Titania. Or at least one of the elementals. Danishade seems like there's no room for better cards. Storm 2, I think even if Ponder was printed into Modern, Storm would still not be great. Yeah. I mean, try Tiny Shift, Wish. I saw Cedric Phillips streaming like a weird version of Titan Shift the other day. It looked sketchy. It looked sketchy. Potentially fun though. How was it? I don't know. I didn't watch. It's Titan Shift, you know, right? You like it's not really fun to watch, so. It's not particularly entertaining to watch, so I didn't really watch for for too much. It's just a boring deck. Which is why I don't stream it. Like I played a fair amount of like Through the Breach Primeval Titan decks. Those are a lot more fun, and that's what Cedric was playing. But I know they kind of can get boring. Lotus Reach gets better with you consider cantrip. Yeah, of course. Like even like Storm also. Like it's just a strictly better opt as far as those decks go. I could have gone all in. So they clear the board and deal me 1 point of damage. They did use a lot of resources. And now I'm just going to ask the same question again. They still have the Grape Shot in hand. Now that I'm out of Titanias, I am going to sack everything to the Titania, by the way. But now they have to go even higher on Storm count in order to kill me. I don't think my opponent can win unless they find the Dork somehow. What if you can just play Wishes and just have no shifts mates and only have one when you... Yeah, it's possible. It's possible. It's worse against cards like Surgical Extraction, because if you have no copies, your opponent just knows that they can just, you know, Surgical your Wishes and you're good to go. But we are going in here. I don't think I'm playing around main deck Echoing Truth. Oh. Chalice, Soul Guide Lantern, Endurance. Prismatic Ending's probably okay. I mean, I didn't even consider including Storm in the Cyber Guide, but I guess it's free. Like I'm literally playing against it right now and cyberboarding against it right now, so I might as well just write down what I'm doing. So +1 Soul Guide, +3 Endurance. Can do something like this. So 4th Chalice, EE, Soul Guide, triple Endurance, and then we're cutting Ghost Quarter, Shadow Spear, seems to explore. -1 ran. -1 ending. Force for Moon. This deck doesn't lose to Blood Moon. Sand is probably too slow. Sand is better. Sheep the Temple Garden. Sand is not great though. I really wish I had access to some interaction here. Gonna find Stomping Ground off of this. Chalice would be nice. It's a blank. Kind of sucks. Please Blood Moon me. Please Blood Moon me. Okay. Cycling some Morphoses. Jeez. That's a lot. It's a lot. Well, hello. Any spoilers for No Enemy this Friday? No spoilers just yet. Mostly because I still have to figure out what I'm gonna play. So we have two options. We can play Titania. I think I'm playing Titania, and then I'm gonna play Chalice on one. So opponent Romance. The thing is, I really wish I could play Chalice on two. Am I supposed to just pass and hope for a Chalice on two? The problem is, like, whatever I play is getting remanded, right? Whatever I play is getting remanded, so like throwing the Titania and hiding the information is better. I don't think Chalice on one is going to do anything. So I'm going to hold the Chalice here. I'm going to lose because of this opt, aren't I? Oh, I'm an idiot. I could have... Whoops. Well, that was a bad mistake. I could have just played the Chalice twice. That was just really stupid. Yeah, that was just a bad mistake. I was thinking, well, I can Titania, and then I can, like, play the Chalice for two. And it's just like, well, but they can also just remand it, idiot. So this is gonna be fun. I guess I can... Is this just lethal? I think this is just lethal. Yeah, map is just lethal. They need to have two pieces of interaction for this Dryad through the Chalice. My opponent was trying to, you know, set up for the long game and take it easy. And then map is just like, nope. Game ends right now. The game ends right now. Four mana to repeal. Okay, so I can deal them. I can bring them down to 2 if I want to. Because I have 9 on board. Or I can just float the mana and just chalice them for 2. I think I like the chalice play better. I think I like playing chalice better. I can't do both. I mean, I can put them down to 1, but putting them down to 1 doesn't do anything, right? I can do both, but like, what's the point? Noxious Revival? Okay, sure. Yeah, I guess Noxious Revival is a reason for bringing my opponent down to 2. Matt, thank you so much for the tier 1 sub. Welcome back, my man. Thank you for the support. Still gotta drop a game. Deck's too good. I told you. See you next round. All right. No. Deck is awesome. Hope you're doing well. Yeah, thank you, Kurt. You too. We're doing well. Yeah, let's keep this one. So I think I want to bottom. Opponent does not reveal companion. I think I'm gonna ship the Explorer because Renin 6 is probably way too important. 3-0 playing a 0-0 classic, yeah, just some good old MTGO pairings. I'm not gonna chalice on 0. I think it's important for me to figure out what my opponent is on. I'm just gonna chalice on 1, and then kind of take it from there, and then we can choose whether we Ren. Opponent moves to 5. Turn 1 Reclaimer, aka the Dream. Flooded Strand. I think I'm just slamming this Renin 6 on turn 2. Slamming it. Attack you for 1. Been listening to the podcast for a while now. Did you end up trying the Reanimator Amulet deck? No, I think it's the meme. Temple Garden. Steam Vents. Jeez. What the hell is this? Not bad. Not half bad. So this could be like a Sioux deck? Tribal Sioux, or it could be an Omnath deck, Field of Ruin. Okay, so this is just like a 4-color control bullshit, right? It's like a 4-color, just like mid-range nonsense control deck. A little bit Ren flooded over here. Do we even play this Chalice here? I don't think I do. Because if I play the Chalice, like I probably play it for 2, and then that locks my Rens. Please field me. Oh man. Oh, sweet. The bug was actually relevant. I don't think I'm playing the second Dryad out. Maybe I could have played the Chalice for 1. What's the point though? Well, good thing I didn't. I'm probably gonna play the Reclaimer, however. Low key, I'm much more interested in this Reclaimer surviving than the Dryad surviving. So Elementals on YouTube, holy fuck, what a set. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Stabs. That deck is just fire, dude. That deck is just straight gasoline. Just straight up gasoline. I think I'm playing the Chalice now. This locks up a bunch of cards. This is gonna be a Wrath. Omnath. Okay. Well, that's very easy to beat. But Omnath plus Fetch. Okay, that may not be as easy to beat. Elemental straight fire. That white deck was watching. Yeah. Yeah, and my opponent was... I don't know why they took so long to concede, man. I don't understand people that are just... I honestly don't know what they expect to happen. They're just like delaying the unavoidable for forever. So that triggers Somnath. Obviously good for my opponent. Not excited about that, particularly after dropping my own Chalice there. Well, I'm just getting owned over here. It's the worst Chalice of all time. My opponent's playing Path to Exile. Valakut. Oh. Yeah, sure, that plays. It's not great though. My opponents had a pretty high life total. Only 2 cards left. Only 2 cards left. Practice from paper when you play to a draw. Could help you if you ever lose game 1 to that white deck. Yeah. Yeah, I was explaining when I was in the video. I'm just like, there was actually like a historic, I remember a PTQ happening. An Amulet losing the finals of that PTQ to the Martyr player, just like decking their opponent. I'm still not gonna deploy the second Dryad. I just don't think there's any point in doing that. Obviously the Rennie's locked out by my own Chalice. Chalice looking really bad here. My opponent got a lot of mileage out of me not knowing what they're on. They got insane value from me not knowing. I still think it's better for you to put this on 2 because of iteration, which my opponent may have a copy or 2 in hand right now. Well, I'm not blocking this because that probably means that my opponent has a second one. Maybe I'm not supposed to be attacking. It's pretty good. So here's 12. And here's a fetch. So they probably have a second copy of Omnath, but I don't think I can take this because if my opponent has, they play second Omnath and they play a fetch and I actually just lose to the Omnath triggered ability. Can this deck support Omnath? Look at the mana base and tell me. What do you think? The answer is no. In case you were wondering, the answer is no, it cannot. So just they were Prism Mirrors of 2018. Were Prison was a delight, an absolute delight. Something good? Ghost Quarter. We can't even Ghost Quarter ourselves. I can't really cut off my opponent of any colors of mana. I think they just have another Omnath here. Yep, that's really bad for us. Really bad for us. We need another Titania. I guess even another Titania wouldn't be that great. Dude. Of course, of course. Let's see if my opponent can set up lethal this turn. They can. Spoiler alert, they can. Okay, so we're playing against like 4-color mid-range like bullshit, so probably won't Pithing Needle. Chalices, as we just saw, are completely terrible. Maybe Endurances. How you doing, Zach? Met 3 Alpine Moons for the Green Throne matchup against Elementals. Do you figure 3 that's enough? I don't know. Seems like a lot, but maybe it's okay. As much as you dislike the Dino, I played it once on LGS and then the weird person player never not Needles Sakama even when I wasn't playing it. That's funny. Doing good, man. I feel like Man. I'm kind of upset at how much value my opponent got from me not knowing what they were up to. They got way too much value. You love my my passion for good mana. Thank you, thank you. It's a never-ending quest. The never-ending quest for good mana. Even this deck's mana is not great. Like, sure, we have what, like 24 lands? This is actually a 24 land deck. And it has 6 spells that you can play and they tap for mana. But this is a 24 land deck. More like a 23, honestly. Mana base spits in the grave of your parents. Man, some people under mana bases. Sure, I'll keep this. Some people under mana bases. I'll just try this deck in paper next week in the tournament. Let's see if it's better than Amulet. Best of luck. Best of luck. I think it's pretty good. Too good. Particularly when you're a master and you draw like I do. Maybe you're an idiot, at least in a slow position again as I thought. Just faced green thrown twice into mill in the league and got obliterated. Still won the last 2 matches for the 2-3. Those matches just winnable. Yeah, it's tough out there, my friend. It's tough out there. Look at this marvelous draw steps. Look at this marvelous draw steps. Alpine Moon. Oh no. Do you also have an answer for the Wren? Show me that prismatic ending. No prismatic ending. Why does my opponent not have the answer to the Wren? Seems like not a great play to not have the answer, you know what I'm saying? We're not drawing well, in case you were wondering, by the way. We're not drawing well. But it's okay. I'm gonna need the Fairy Time Raveler. Just playing a Snapcaster for no value at all. Okay. Just shredded my account down to less than 1,000 cards from 5,000, hoping it helps with some of the client lag. Wait, can you actually have lag because of that? Oh, come on. They have Big Tef too? Jesus. Well, the good thing is that we get to kill the Big Tef. I think this is a situation where we get expedition map, and we have lethal. We may just have lethal. We get Valakut. This is 1, so 6, 12. Yeah, we have Yeah, we can kill them with the ending. So this is just lethal. Your face. Your face. Still your face. Oh, Ursa Saga. You're not okay. You are not okay, Ursa Saga. You are not. Now that we still Snapcaster. I mean, Endurance is just better than Soul Guide against a Snapcaster, right? So this is just fine. You have 5 no 1 banning. Decks that make it look too good either have endless mana or huge artifact synergies. Both are beatable. I think that the cost is way too low. I wish that it cost a little bit more, you know? I mean, if I don't draw a fetch line in my first 2 turns, we're probably in a lot of trouble. Sure, let's keep this. I think Covenant Souls is garbage, but it's not going anywhere. Yeah, I think the cost... Yeah, the cost of both cards is minimal, right? But I think the upside of Saga is just a lot better than the upside of Cavern of Souls. The upside of Cavern of Souls is, you know, your other cards are harder to interact with. The upside of Saga is you just fucking won the game straight up. You know, like it's a very, very significant difference for just a land, you know. First counterspell that we see. I wasn't expecting my opponent to be playing some counterspells alongside Expressive Iteration and Ren and 6 for that matter. Well, this means my Dryad's gonna make it. Just gonna make a good old Dryad plus Saga 1-2 punch. If everything's broken, it's fun as long as the broken things are in balance, and they are at the moment. Yeah, I'm not thinking that it's banned. I'm not so much saying that it's, you know, should be banned or anything like that. It's more of a, it's the same as Lurrus. Like, I think that the format would be a lot better without them. That's kind of where I'm at. Helix my Dryad plus ping. I think I ran here. Plays around Sweeper, it pressures the Ren, it makes it so my Titania is just lethal because I can go get Suranord. They can emulate are the only decks I've seen sustained success with Saga and a very low artifact count. Well, because it doesn't matter how many artifacts you have as long as your artifacts come into play and just win the game. Notifications are not... No, notifications are coming up. I think. We got a couple of subs earlier today and they showed up. Fairy Time Raveler. Good thing that I went for this instead of going for like Reclaimer. I think the run is rough. So now we can do Saga plus Titania plus Reclaimer. Make it 5-3. Not an insignificant amount of pressure. So this is gonna force my opponent's wrath if they have it. I'll block you. I think I want to get Valakut here. Play that. Combat. I think I want to attack the fairy. Yeah, let's attack the fairy. Opponent doesn't block. Now we ending Ren. That's the turn. I'll block. Keep banning things till Elves is a playable deck. Elves was good for a second, like a month ago, maybe 2 months ago. I mean, probably saying that it was good, maybe overselling a little bit, but it was like playable. It was not embarrassing for a second there. I think I fucked up here. So now my opponent's gonna get to kill my Reclaimer. I think I may have fucked up there. Block. Kind of running out of gas here. We do have a little bit more in the tank. But yeah, maybe I should have played the fetch land because that would have made the Reclaimer into a 3-4. I honestly did not think about my opponent having Helix. Hot take, the Mirror 95 lands could be unbanned. Yeah, that's just not correct. Clearly, you never played Affinity during the Affinity days. That's all I'm gonna say. Like, you just clearly did not play Affinity during the times where Affinity was good. Yeah, I'm not gonna block that dude. It's rough. It's pretty rough. When you had 3 lands in the graveyard, the opponent could have selected the path instead. Yeah, that's fair. This the deck they mentioned on Serum Visions podcast today. I don't know series even. It could be, but I don't listen to that podcast. But yeah, this is my brew that I'm working on for a while now. It's not a bad draw. Let's equip that bad boy. I guess I should have equipped the other one. I mean, I have infinite mana, so let's actually move the equipment over here. Because this is, at this point, because we have so many construct, this is the worst token. Send me a shadow, that's why I came to see it. Oh, nice, series even. Awesome. Then yes, then it is the deck. So my opponent needs to do some blocking here. Or some, you know, removing my creatures. Either one of them is valid. Some chump blocks are in order here. Opponent goes down to 4. They like to leave dangerously. Okay, last turn. What do you got, opponent? Do you find the Wrath? Engineered explosives? They found the concede button. I'll take it. I'll take it. Funny how we flooded, but we flooded with Ursa Sagas, while my opponent just flooded with lands. So, my lands were better than my opponent's deck's lands. Sweet. See you for the last round. Alright. For all the glory of the 5-0 and a magnificent trophy. We're on the draw. This hand is kind of a trap. I think I'm gonna keep it anyway, and I'm gonna be very sad when it doesn't work out. We have more than half of our deck is lands, so there's 29 lands in our deck out of 53 cards, and we have to find 1 land in the first 2 draw steps. That seems like good enough odds for me to keep this hand. Like, this hand is very good. We also have interaction, so even if my opponent goes like turn 1 monkey or whatever. Oh, come on, I'm playing against Scape Shift. Well, remember how I was saying earlier that Escape Shift isn't playable? Well, it's real fucking good against my deck. It's really, really good against my deck. Tell you that much. So this prismatic engine is not doing anything besides exiling that Arboreal Grazer, so and I'm not racing them, so just gonna go Secret Foundry here, ending that. Swing for 1. Only happened because we talked about the wish. Yeah, exactly. This is just justice, you know. I'm calling the deck unplayable and just making fun of it, and then of course I get paired against it. Gotta find some lands here. It's not a land. So we're dead to a Primeval Titan. Yeah, I don't know how I'm supposed to chalice on 3. They did miss their land drop last turn. Also, we have nothing against this deck. Like, we have literal nothing in our sideboard. Like, none of our cards do anything whatsoever. None of our cards do anything at all against my opponent's deck. I guess that would have been a reason to play Chalice for Seer, huh? So what can I draw? So I have to go fetch Valakut. Because my opponent can't trigger, they can trigger Scapeshift here, or they can trigger Valakut here. So I have to get Valakut here, and then I find Flagstones. That's not enough. If I get Flagstones here, we find a land. Still does not kill the Primeval Titan. If I get a fetch land, what happens if I get a fetch land? We play fetch land. Well, the problem is that Valakut, like, fetch is not enough, right? If I find a fetch, so I have to find a fetch land off of the Explorer. So I get Valakut. We have 4 lands in play. We untap. I find an untapped land, and then I find a fetch land off of it. So that's the play, and that allows me to kill the Primeval Titan. Okay, gotta draw a fetch land right now. Fetch land. Close enough. Close enough. We can't beat the onboard prime time, so just gonna pack it. Yeah, our cards don't do anything at all. All of our cards are just blank pieces of virtual cardboard. Even our mana base has... This is so unlucky, man. This is like insanely unlucky. Ah, dude. Hushbringer? Yeah, I think I'm doing Hushbringer. Like, this is how bad. This is how bad my deck is against my opponents, that I'm bringing in Hushbringer against Scapeshift, man. Oh my. Oh my. No, that doesn't work, Titan, because Ghost Quarter puts me behind the land. when I don't have flagstones, so that just doesn't work. Yeah, the sand doesn't do shit. I don't even know when I'm looking at it. Keep this. No, don't send the triome. Send the flagstones. I'm gonna go turn to Ren. Doesn't do anything. Man, this is like the worst way to go out. Just playing against an inexistent deck in the metagame, but that just lines up perfectly against mine. Just rough. It is just rough. Okay. Please don't force me. Ugh, I'm getting forced. Damn it. Maybe not. Don't castle me, bro. Oh, this is acceptable. Okay, I'm okay with what just happened. I will accept those terms and conditions. Okay, so we play fetch. We fetch for planes. We play Titania. We get back the Arid Mesa. We play. We fetch, making a dude. Temple Garden. Plus, we Flagstones. I kind of want to, because if I find another fetch or a ghost squatter, I'm gonna want to play that. So I'm taking like infinite damage. I'm not dead to Titan. Rewarded. Not dead to Titan, but I am dead to Scape Shift, obviously. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, yeah. So if my opponent has land into Scape Shift, we're dead. But if they have Primeval Titan, then they're going to have to answer my board as opposed to answering my face. Sure. That guy's very cool. It's a very cool guy. They can do Valakut plus Mountain, but that's it. Or they can do, I guess, Valakut, and then play their land for a turn. So they kill my dudes, but then now I just Saga for Expedition Map, Valakut. Oh. Yeah. Okay, they're quite dead. I mean, to be fair, they're exactly dead. They're not quite dead. And I guess maybe they can bolt me, and if they have second Titan, we win. They win. Definitely got pretty lucky there. We were on the play, and my opponent had turn 4 Titan, and we won on the immediate next turn. And now we're on the draw. Still unclear whether my opponent's playing their own Dryads. Maybe they just aren't. This is a trap. It's a trap. I can go turn 1, turn 2 Ren plus Suron Orb. Man, this hand grinds super well. Okay, this is turn 1 Reclaimer. This probably gives me a better shot. It's not looking good. Not looking good. Maybe if we find Flagstones off the top, we can win. If we find Flagstones off the top, maybe we can win. Looks like my opponent is going to turn 3 Titan me, though. Don't do it. Don't do it. Also should have played a fetch. That was actually a pretty bad mistake. Woof. Yeah, that was an awful mistake on my part. And I just got a fast Titan. That's rough. We can charm the Titan. And then they time walk themselves? Okay. Okay. This means that they're gonna need another Titan, and they're 2 lands away from triggering Valakut. They're actually more lands than that. They're 4 lands away. So I can activate Reclaim. I think it's actually better for me to exile the Prime Time. Because if I find the Flagstones or an Explore, I mean, a Flagstones probably, but now I can explore into Reclaimer activation. It's not good. It's not a good draw. So we're just gonna have infinite time. This is bad. This is bad. We need them to whiff like a lot. We are in a situation where lands are not really that great for them because they fetch for double forest, and they also have this stupid castle hanging out there. Tireless Tracker. Okay. Weird. Okay, it's Stomping Ground. That's big! That's huge! That is massive! That's a massive top deck. So I guess I want to do this right now. Yeah. Let's do this right now so I can get rid of the tracker. So my opponent doesn't turn their land drops into cards. Even Primeval Titan is not good enough here, because my opponent fetch for a bunch of they fetch for a bunch of forests. Oh, come on. No. No. Damn it, dude. That is so brutal, man. That is so brutal. All right, so they're out of cards. That's it. They are out of cards. They have nothing going on. But now Primeval Titan is lethal. But I have Titania though. And I naturally drew the Suran Orb. So we're gonna be at a lot of life. And my opponent is gonna need to draw probably Primeval Titan is the only draw. Escape Shift. Yeah, that one's not enough. Are we just gonna win this game? Wow, I can't believe we're gonna win this match. Well, if you wanted to have an idea of how bad the Titan Shift really is. If you wanted to know how bad Titan Shift really is, this is like a great... This is how bad Titan Shift is. I am the buy matchup for my opponent. I am the buy, and they couldn't even win the the buy. That's how bad Titan Shift is. Well, I mean, right Sideboard Guide immediately showcase it as with a nice little trophy. On a roll. Like, we got a trophy with Amulet and a trophy with Elementals on Monday, and we just got a trophy with lands. Let's go. This deck is cool. Big fan of this deck. I would recommend it. Good old 15-0 run. Yeah, so if you want to check it out, consider subscribing to my Twitch channel or consider joining my Patreon. Or both of those things can be found in the description below in the video. And if you enjoy the content, make sure that you also hit that subscribe button right here on YouTube and leave me a comment down below. Take care. Bye-bye.